Hello guys, thank you for clicking on this video. I am actually recording this again because I'm not very good at public speaking and I mess up quite a lot. So I'm going to try and edit this audio in a way that sounds natural and doesn't have it doesn't have too many cuts, but in a way that is nice and easy to listen. So yeah, I will start off just saying that I'm making this video to record my progress and go over some things that I did from a subjective sort of personal perspective. So if any of you disagree, then that's fine. This is more of a record for me than it is, to promote the method itself. I do believe that this is really good stuff. So maybe if you're interested, you can look into it for yourself as well. Anywho, Immersion Methods. So there are three sort of big names out there right now, which are Refold, Migaku, and AJAP. They're a bit of kind of weird names, to be honest. I don't really like any of the names on a personal level, but that's just me. But I think, yeah, let's just start with Refold because it's the most popular at the moment, I think. The site itself just has really good advice. It just talks about the fine details of immersion learning. So how much you should read, the ratios for certain things, that sort of stuff is really great. But it also has a community on Discord, a Discord community, which I was in, and I decided to leave because actually people on there, well, one, because we're always talking about theory and stuff, we get into a lot of arguments. I can admit that I wasted a lot of time on that. If you're going to join the Refold Discord server, I would say do it with caution because you're going to spend a lot of time just arguing with people in English, and it's not really going to be all that useful to you. And you might say, well, hang on a minute, you're just wasting your time making an English YouTube video now. Well, actually, I'm listening to Korean while I'm doing this, so joke's on you. Next up is Migaku, which is another brand which promotes this idea. I personally use its software. Well, actually, I don't anymore, but I used to use its software, and I think its software and just general Anki Decks and all this stuff is really good. And I personally really enjoy them. I don't really have much to say in terms of downsides because they don't have a community. Or they do, sorry, they have a community, but it's paid for only, like a Patreon Discord server thing. But the tools themselves, they're a little bit clunky, to be honest, but that's fine because they do say that it's in the beta stage. The only one I do use now is just for the condensing audio at the moment. I don't use their tools for making flashcards because I prefer to make them manually, and that's just me. But hopefully, yeah, in the future, Migaku will see a lot of changes and it's just going to get better from now. So I'm looking forward to the changes, and I don't really have much to say in terms of downsides. And then lastly, I was going to talk about AJAP. AJAP is an abbreviation for all Japanese all the time, which I use for Korean now. AJAP being the one which is the most hardcore, it's actually really motivational. I just recommend you read it anyway, even if you're not even learning a language, because it's just so motivational. So that is an overview of the free immersion learning, the groups that promote it. I personally think what they tell you is all good, but at the same time, you need to sort of think for yourself and learn by what's best for you. And that begs the question then, what did I do for the last year to get to where I am in Korean? And I will prove my skill, but I might do a reading video because other people do that, but I don't really like that. I don't really like the idea of just reading text. I'm not very good at reading just for the sake of showing this is progress. I mean, the only upside is that it shows your progress, but downsides are that you're kind of putting yourself out there just for people to hate on, because people will just go out of their way to say oh, this is wrong, this is bad. Constructive criticism is all good, but I don't really want other people's opinion. Oh dear, I don't really want other people's opinion because I want it to be just something that I can look back on and maybe share with a few friends to say you know what, if you put in the time, you can get to this sort of level if that's what you want to do. I'm not really a fan of community aspect of this. I'm just doing this so I can learn Korean like I sort of promised myself a few years ago. And hell, I'm going to be living in Korea in the next couple of days, so I need to get better basically. I'm good enough, but I want to get better. That's where I'm at with it right now. Now let's go on to what I did for a year. So I was studying Korean sort of out of a textbook, like the Talk to Me in Korean textbooks, which is all well and good, but I wasn't really doing it all that sort of religiously. I wouldn't do it every day. I would do it a few times a week, really making really slow progress. But I wasn't really all that bothered because I wasn't too serious about learning Korean back then. But then 2020 came around and I actually deleted all my social media, apart from YouTube, obviously. Through doing that, I thought right, now's time to get serious. I just felt something at that moment that, scrolling through Instagram is taking up quite a lot of my time, and is this really how I want to spend my life? Like, I'd rather do something a little bit more productive. I just thought about when I started Korean, and I was like, oh, this is something I actually really wanted to do, but I never really got around to it because I was procrastinating the whole time by playing games and social media and all this. So I decided, right, from this moment onwards, I'm not going to use any social media. I'm going to just get better at Korean. I didn't discover immersion learning till about sometime in March, so that's when I started to get a bit more serious with it. I did probably, I think on average, about 3 hours a day of just like reading. By reading, I mean not reading books necessarily, but watching programs with Korean subtitles only. And I did a bit of webtoon reading on the side. I did that so I did the reading up until, 2021. And throughout the day, I would also listen to music. If you know about immersion, then there's active immersion and passive immersion. Well, that's the term that sort of Refold use, but I don't know how far I agree with that too much. But what I was doing was I was listening to music throughout the day and then reading. So I would spend like 8 hours plus just listening to music. Maybe the occasional podcast here and there, but it was mostly music for that whole year. And it's not that I didn't agree with that, but I didn't really realize how sort of ineffective music was going to be. But as of recently, so as of 2021, the beginning of 2021 pretty much, I've been doing sort of all Korean all the time, but I've been doing it with like good passive listening. So with listening to podcasts, with listening to shows I've already watched, which has actually been a lot more helpful. And I've just realized it now that I'm getting the gains now, basically. Now I feel like I've pretty much optimized it to almost the best I can. I mean, I'm even listening to Korean right now, so that shows some dedication. So yeah, I did that for a year, and I will demonstrate my skill level in another video. Obviously, don't expect a lot, and I don't even think I'm all that good, to be honest. I'm going to tell you now that I think that I'm not even sure how to grade it, to be honest. It's hard to judge, but I'm not really all that good, but I'm better than the people who used to be like me, who studied from textbooks. So at the current time of recording, I'm going to be moving to Korea in, 4 days now. I have my birthday on the weekend, and I'm going to move to Korea, so that will be very interesting. That's why I actually started this channel, to get some sort of momentum for that journey and give me some encouragement to record more things that might be useful to other people, or even just for me to look back on as a record. There's a few school friends and stuff who I'd like to share this with, so that's why I'm pursuing this sort of YouTube stuff. I'm not doing it for the views, I'm not doing it for the money, I don't really care about all of that. I'm just doing it for my friends, really, for me, my friends, the stuff I do care about, you know? Sorry for this video being like really messy. I'm not very good at talking like this, that's why I'm doing it, obviously, to get better. And I hope there was some sort of value in this and something that you could get out of my story. If not, I've got a video coming out soon of me just going to be reading something that I've never seen before. So hopefully that'll give you a gauge of what you can expect. I might do a recorded video of me outputting, but I don't really know. I'm just going to do what I feel like. So yeah, to all the language learners out there, just keep going. It's worth it, I think. I don't know. Maybe not, maybe just quit, I don't know. No, but seriously, just stay healthy, guys. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in my next video, I guess. Alrighty.